Alright, let's dive into this. Mel Gibson, the guy who made The Passion of the Christ, a film that polarized audiences, critics, and probably your local pastor, is doubling down on his biblical ambitions. But here's the twist: his sequel, The Resurrection of the Christ, won't be in Aramaic anymore. Yep, it's switching to English. And honestly, this decision raises so many fascinating questions about authenticity, audience, and what Gibson is really trying to say here. Let's unpack this. First off, the original movie was a cultural lightning rod. It was brutal, visually stunning, and yes, entirely in Aramaic. Critics argued that using the language of ancient Palestine added authenticity, while others felt it created a barrier for mainstream viewers. Now Gibson's flipping the script. He claims English makes the theological themes more digestible. But wait, if authenticity was a selling point before, why abandon it now? Personally, I think this isn't just about subtitles. It's about accessibility. Gibson wants to preach to the masses without forcing them to read up on ancient languages. But does that dilute the message? Or is it smart marketing? Let's talk about the bigger picture. The sequel isn't just one film, it's two parts, split across 2027 and 2028. Why? Blockbusters like Avengers, Endgame did this, but Gibson's story is mythic, not Marvel. He's framing it as a single narrative split naturally, which makes me wonder, is this a creative choice or a financial one? Sequels mean sustained hype, merch sales, and box office momentum. But Gibson's films are passion projects, right? Maybe he's learned from Hollywood's playbook. Or maybe this story is just too epic to cram into 180 minutes. Now, the nonlinear storytelling and visual effects. Gibson's diving into hellscapes with demons and fallen angels. This isn't your Sunday school curriculum. The original was grounded in raw human suffering. This sequel sounds like a biblical Lord of the Rings. But here's the catch: CGI-heavy religious epics are risky. Think Heaven's Gate meets the Ten Commandments. If the effects look cheesy, it'll alienate viewers. But if done right, it could redefine how we visualize faith on screen. What's fascinating is Gibson's blend of tradition and spectacle. He's mixing ancient theology with modern tech. Is that sacrilege or innovation? And let's not forget the elephant in the room: casting. Jim Caviezel's Jesus was iconic, but Jaakko Ohtonen's taking over. Will fans accept a new face? Or will this sequel feel disjointed from its predecessor? Recasting is tricky, just ask Star Wars or James Bond. But maybe Gibson sees this as a fresh start, a way to separate the sequel's identity from the original's shadow. What this all boils down to is Gibson's balancing act. He's walking a tightrope between reverence and relevance, artistry and audience. The Aramaic debate isn't just about language, it's about who this film is for. By choosing English, he's signaling that the message matters more than the medium. But does that make it more inclusive or less authentic? I'd argue both. It's a gamble, but then again, so was the original film. So here's my final thought: Gibson's career has always been a paradox, genius or controversy? The Passion made $600 million but drew accusations of anti-Semitism. Now, with The Resurrection, he's betting on a world that's both more secular and still hungry for spiritual spectacle. Will this work? I don't know. But I do know this: whether you love him or hate him, Mel Gibson never makes boring art. And honestly, isn't that the point of great cinema? To provoke, to challenge, to make us feel something? What do you think? Is the switch to English a smart move, or should Gibson have stuck to Aramaic? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's debate this like it's 2004 again.